Kia ora. This is the mid-year freakout tag, so I've decided to actually participate in a tag for once. And first thing, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2025? So I actually have a stack of. These are probably the best books that I've read in 2025. Um, so my favorite one this year has been The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa, um, which is, I've talked about it a few times. It's basically a series of kind of like diary entries, but not diary entries, of Pessoa and one of his pen names, Bernardo Soares. And it's just basically musings on life, on dreams, on Pessoa's view of art and of the city he lives in, Lisbon. Oh, so even though I haven't finished this one, this is probably my favorite one so far. But I think it's worth talking about. Oh, the stack is falling over. It's worth talking about the other books that I really enjoyed. So I really enjoyed Inferno by Dante. So this is just a really classic depiction of hell. It's very, very good. I quite like referencing it. Just like Virgil and stuff like that. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not a book for everyone, but it's a good kind of classic in the Western canon. So it's worth checking out. And the other books that I really enjoy and I'll rank as my favorite, if um, if the Book of Disquiet wasn't my most favorite this year, would be Labyrinths by Jorge Luis Borges. So it's basically a collection of short stories and essays and a few parables by the Argentinian short story writer Jorge Luis Borges, and they're often very like magical, dealing with a lot of literary and philosophical and religious ideas. Yeah, it's a really good collection. I know a lot of people talk about Ficciones as being one of their favorite books, but this is a really good collection, and you really can't go wrong with Borges. Um, and then the other book that I read this year, which is probably one of my favorites, is Metamorphosis. So this was a reread. Actually, I reread it twice, and it's just Franz Kafka, like really solid writing. Very takes you into the head of his characters. Really like psychological, but also kind of mechanical in some sense of how things work, and it often employs some kind of dream logic, but not in like an obvious way. So, Metamorphosis, a very good read. Then that brings me into the next question. What has been my favorite sequel of the first half of this year? I haven't read any sequels, so none. Is there any new release that you haven't read but you're really excited to? Yes. Yes, there is. So, I mean, it's not a new book, but the Emily Wilson translation of the Iliad. I don't know if it came out this last year, but I'll consider this a recent book, and I'm looking forward to reading this. So, the Iliad by translated by Emily Wilson, and the 30th year anniversary, or 30th anniversary of Tick on Concrete. So again, not a new book, but this is a new release, so I'm looking forward to this. And what's next? What has been your biggest disappointment so far? I actually haven't read any books I'm disappointed in, so none. No disappointments. What has been the biggest surprise so far? Probably the Book of Disquiet has been my biggest surprise. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. Like, I didn't not think I would like it, but I chose up. I love Pessoa's writing, so yeah, this has been the biggest surprise. Um, what book made me cry? Um, have I cried this year reading? I don't think so. I don't think anything's really like tugged at my heartstrings. And what book made me happy? Um, I don't know. I haven't really. I didn't think that far ahead when I was doing these questions. I don't know. Reading makes me happy, so I guess that's that. Um, did any books make me grin? Like a, um, I don't know, like a metaphor. No, simile. Like a insert simile here. Um, just a bunch. There's been a bunch of ones where I'm like, oh yeah, that's really good, but none has made me super happy outside of just the generic pleasure of reading and enjoying good literature. And then this is a question that I did prepare for. What books do I want to read by the end of the year? So I want to have read House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski by the end of the year. And the other book I want to have read by the end of the year is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. So those are the two books. And I'm just going to end it here. But yeah, hopefully there hasn't been too much banging and crashing in the background. But yeah, see you in the next video. Cheers.